Hi, welcome everyone to our second Asia Pacific MVP Microsoft series. I'd like to welcome Brennon Kwok from Polycom and Lync MVP here with us today. So thank you very much for joining us, Brennon.
Thank you, Ben, for having me over.
Great, so we've really seen the adoption of unified communication technologies and specifically Microsoft Lync accelerating very rapidly in the last few years, and definitely at Chem Technologies we're seeing these projects expand rapidly. So can you give us a little bit of information about what's driving this growth and really fueling this adoption, particularly by smaller and mid-sized organizations?
Yes, well, the promise of unified communications has always been to improve business productivity and enhance business processes. And the modern workforce today demands being always connected anywhere and on any device. And Microsoft Lync, as a UC platform, has improved and evolved over the years to a point where it's able to adequately fulfill those demands today. I think there are three main reasons why enterprises have chosen Lync over other UC platforms. The first one being is all about the user experience. That ease of use and that intuitiveness of Lync across a broad range of devices, especially mobile phones and tablets, coupled with its tight integration with Microsoft Office, all these help to make Lync user adoption incredibly simple and fast. And that is a key criteria that IT decision makers look for when deploying a UC solution. That's user adoption. Because any UC solution is highly visible and has a high business impact on the organization. So user adoption is one of the key. And second reason is around the huge partner ecosystem that Lync has been building up over the years. So today there are many hardware and software manufacturers that make solutions for Lync, including gateways, load balancers, phone handset manufacturers, headsets, and so on. And this huge partner ecosystem not only gives customers the choice to choose the right solution that best fits their business requirements, but also ensures interoperability with existing investments. And last but not least, it's about Lync being offered as a UC as a service, in both cloud and hybrid cloud models. Now, this allows companies to adopt UC and moving to the cloud at their own pace. And last but not least, Lync being offered as a cloud, a UC as a service in both cloud and hybrid cloud models allows companies large and small to adopt UC at their own pace, right? Maximizing their investment dollars and streamline their operational costs. So in fact, Gartner, in his latest UC Magic Quadrant, has put Microsoft in the leader position above all the other vendors in terms of their ability to execute and their completeness of their vision. So we'll continue to see that Lync has a strong momentum and will continue to have a strong momentum in the foreseeable future.
Okay, that's really interesting. And you mentioned particularly the very strong ecosystem around Lync and the different adoption methodologies and how that might play out in the future. But another really interesting thing that we've seen fairly recently is the federation between Skype and Lync. And that's really brought together two of the largest platforms out there and really merged the enterprise communication with what most home users or personal use had on the Skype platform, as well as the Messenger community. What do you think, when we look at those kind of trends, might come out of this just scale? What kind of possibilities could we see in the future where we get to that next generation of communications and technologies? Is there anything that you think could really only be done due to this scale and this type of integration?
Yes, I think the Skype acquisition by Microsoft has definitely created a lot of interest in the whole marketplace. And if you look at recent statistics, like Skype has over 300 million users, right, and processes a call volume of 2 billion minutes a day, in call volume, and that's a staggering number for Skype, a company that started just about 11 years ago. And one of the key goals of federating Skype with Lync is to be able to bridge businesses and consumers together, right? And which opens up tremendous opportunities in the marketplace. Back in February at Lync conference in Las Vegas, Microsoft announced version 2 of the Lync Skype integration, where Skype users will not only be able to do instant messaging, presence, and audio calls with Lync users, but also video calls, right? So this will certainly enhance the ability of millions of Skype users to interconnect with businesses over Lync in a much more highly engaging and personalized manner over using high-definition video. In the coming years, I do expect that integration to extend beyond just even audio and video, but also to data collaboration and application sharing as well. From a technology standpoint, it's interesting. What's interesting is that to really improve the experience between Lync and Skype users, Microsoft has chosen to use the Silk audio codec and the H.264 video codec for audio-video communication. So we see that actually this federation has driven innovation in the area of audio and video technologies, which will benefit the industry as a whole.
So you just mentioned some interesting developments around really open protocols being developed and really benefiting from this kind of commercial federation that Microsoft's adopted, which will flow through the whole industry.
Yes.
And it raises a good point that while there is growing standardization in the industry, we see a lot less proprietary protocols in this space than we used to. It's still a relatively complex technology. There's a lot of moving parts, and whether you're trying to integrate with a traditional PBX. So for a lot of organizations, they might not have the in-house capabilities for this. So, should all organizations be looking at outsourcing this to a dedicated service provider, or is there still a strong argument for on-premise management? How do you see organizations making these types of decisions, and what should they be considering if they're looking to either adopt these technologies or expand their reliance and use of them?
Right. Now, it's certainly true that UC solutions often involve integrating a number of different system components together to make it work seamlessly. And this include the legacy, PBXs, ISDM type connections, and different types of network infrastructure. However, what I've seen in the past several years, right, while the Lync partner ecosystem has been expanding rapidly in terms of hardware and software vendors, in tandem, so has the system integrators' experience and knowledge in deploying complex UC solutions. So today, I don't see any shortage of either local or global systems integrators who are not able to deploy Lync in even the most complex UC environments. So in light of that, I see no reason why companies should be afraid to deploy UC in-house. And for some organizations, due to privacy or security concerns, will always want to do it on-premise. But at the same time, while organizations that prefer a managed service offering, right, to reduce IT operational costs, can easily adopt cloud or hybrid cloud using Office 365, which is what is really offered today. So the choice is there, and it's really up to the business organization's needs, to decide whether they want to go in cloud or on-premise. So that the decision is actually more of a business decision rather than technology-based.
Okay, and just as a final thought, this is obviously a complex decision. There's a lot of different considerations from both technology and business, as you just mentioned. So if people were interested in finding out more information or getting resources to help them go through that thought process and adoption process, what are some resources that you'd recommend that they look at?
Well, there's certainly a wealth of information available on the internet. Sometimes too overwhelming, that is. It can
sometimes filtering the information is the hardest part, isn't it?
Yes, right. It can be difficult to find exactly what you need. But for IT and business decision makers, right, I would highly recommend publications from the top market research firms like Gartner, Frost & Sullivan, Forrester, just to name a few. And there are also a couple of great websites such as nojitter.com and scalable.com that offer a pretty good perspective on the overall UC market and what trends are taking place. And those are the places I often go to get up to date on those information. For IT professionals looking to resources for deploying Lync and technology-related resources, Microsoft TechNet is definitely a good place to start. But there are also a number of great blog sites written by Lync MVPs around the world, and they regularly publish articles that how to deploy Lync with real-world experiences and UC best practices. Microsoft also has the Microsoft Virtual Academy, which offers free jumpstart training for IT pros. And last but not least, for resources that help drive user adoption, right? Microsoft offers the freely downloadable Lync 2013 Rollout and Adoption Kit, Success Kit, that contains quick reference cards, training modules, videos, and links to online articles for users to quickly get up to speed and be able to get productive from day one of their UC rollout.
Okay, great. And of course, as a Lync MVP yourself, you're heavily involved in the community events, especially around Singapore. So I'm sure people can always find you at the latest Microsoft CTU or Lync user group event here in Singapore as well. So
absolutely, yes.
Great. Thank you so much for your time today, Brennon. And I'm sure all our listeners and partners out there have definitely got a lot of good thoughts from today. And if anyone would like more information, please contact us at www.chemtechnologies.com, and we'll always be happy to put you in touch with great experts such as Brennon or help you however we can ourselves.
Yeah,
Thanks very much for your time today.
Thank you.